that black Americans are the Indians they said they killed off. And Malcolm X tried.
All those black Indians and not an Afro in sight. Not one.
Oh, so fabulous.
Hi guys, welcome to the channel once again. It's your girl Dumebi. If this is your first time coming across my channel, you're welcome. I do hope you decide to subscribe, and if you are a returning subscriber, it's so good to have you here. Welcome back. So today's video is me talking about Africans and African Americans. I would even like to extend it beyond those African Americans, the rest of the African diaspora, you know, like other black people that are in other parts of the world except Africa. Yes, so there's just been this debate going on. I think it's just, you know, the whole diaspora wars and all of that. What do Africans really think about the rest of the African diaspora? So I've actually seen several videos in the past of African Americans or other people from African diaspora talking about how Africans don't like them, how they discriminate against them, how they call them names like Akata. I don't even know what that word is, and apparently it's supposed to be a Nigerian word. I don't use it. I don't know anybody who uses that word. Anyway, I've seen this. It's kind of like an ongoing debate, and I just saw this video on TikTok and I realized that it is because of people like this that the African diaspora think that they are hated by Africans. Let me play this man's video right now.
We don't want them here.
What? They're your brothers.
They're not our
and
brothers.
sisters.
They're not our brothers.
They are.
If you were born in America and have lived there for 300 years, you're no longer African. Those are Americans. We don't need them.
We don't need them.
They were taken away, unfortunately, but they are Americans. We will develop by ourselves. Yeah, we have the capacity, we have the will, we have the resolve. We don't need them. No.
So you guys, when I saw that video, I was shocked. Like, you guys, my jaw dropped. I'm like, there are people who think like this. And I'm shocked because a lot of us do not think like that. A lot of us do not think like that. So of course there will always be people who just want to be foolish and spew rubbish, and unfortunately there's a camera recording him while he's doing that. Please, that is not the way Africans view African diaspora, African Americans. I just wanted to play that video because I felt it's necessary to state that there are definitely going to be people who think like that, but it is not the majority. It is a very, very minute, very inconsequential group of people. So now, on the positive side, I want to play a video by an African American man who currently is living in Africa, who has been opportune to interact with Africans, that has seen the way he has been treated by Africans. He came to share his experience, and this is what he had to say.
Africans see African Americans as Africans. You're going to have people that say, oh, Africans don't see African Americans as Africans, they see us as foreigners. I've been to the African continent. I've lived on the African continent. I studied at the University of Johannesburg for an exchange program. One of the questions I was constantly asked was, where are you from? I'd say the United States. They would ask me, where are you really from? They're implying an African country. Because as a black American, when you are on the African continent, Africans don't know you're from the States until you start speaking. They assume you're just another African. So I would have to say a region in Africa because I'm not sure, because of the slave trade. But because we as African Americans, as well as Afro-Caribbeans and those in the diaspora, are black, we blend in. This is why I don't like this whole African versus African Americans versus Afro-Caribbean. Y'all acting like if we dropped y'all in Nigeria, if we dropped y'all in Haiti, if we dropped y'all in the Bahamas, that they finna know you from the States. Yeah, when you start talking, they're gonna know, okay, he has an accent, where is he from? But until that point is asked, you just another African person walking around in the society. Just like you got this debate between African American culture, Afro-Caribbean culture, and African. Like we don't exchange from one another. Like you a black American ain't African, but you eating yams and okra all the time. You an African who said we ain't got no connection with African Americans, but you listening to hip hop and Afrobeat. You say you ain't Afro-Caribbean, but some of your ancestors come from the Barbados and Haiti, Jamaica, and the Bahamas. Well, Jabari, we weren't born there. We aren't from there. They're gonna know we're different. Yeah, just like a black person from Mississippi is different from a black person in Ohio. A black person from the Bronx is different from a black person who's from LA. A black person from Enugu is different from a black person in Kano. A black person from Johannesburg is different from a black person from Cape Town. Quit the unnecessary divisions. Africans see African Americans as well as other members of the diaspora as Africans. That don't mean it's kumbaya. It means we are part of the African family whether or not you live on the continent or abroad. I will go even further and say African American along with Afro-Caribbean and Afro-Latino culture all are part of African culture. They are subsets unique to their own circumstances. And y'all can rep your culture. Because that's what makes African culture special.
Now that's more like it. That is more like it. That is the truth. Sincerely, we cannot tell the difference. So you guys have heard what he had to say. Let me play a few reactions to what he had to say.
Africans see African Americans as Africans.
Of course you are African. Of course you are an African. But you see yourself as African American. You are an African.
Africans see African Americans as Africans.
You know, there is a wave of manipulation out there that is intentionally preventing black people from coming together, because they know that if we do come together, we will form a great force that won't be able to reckon with. That's why they do everything to make us fight each other. And the sad thing is that we are all falling for it. We are all falling for it. Africans do not know discrimination. Forget about what is happening in America with Africans that go to America. That's a minority. But if you come to Africa as an African American, believe me, you will never face discrimination, because you will be seen as an African. Even if you have a different accent, we might say maybe you went and studied in America and come back. We will never see you as someone else, because we don't know that. We don't discriminate. We love everyone. If you see an African somewhere that is forced to discriminate, know that he must have been hurt or he has gone through a lot and that has pushed him to be bitter. So African Americans, see, we love you guys. We want you guys to come back home. We do not want you guys to come back home because we want anything from you. No. It's because you are part of us. We are a family.
Because as a black American, when you are on the African...
What this gentleman is saying is what I keep saying. He's an African American, and he's saying when you come to the motherland of Africa, we see you as Africans. Of course, yes, if you open your mouth, we'll know that you have, okay, a British accent, you're from Britain, or you have an American accent, you're from America. But then we still know that you're African. If you don't open your mouth in the continent, we see you like any other person on the continent of Africa. And I just want to let you know, guys, like most of our parents, our grandparents actually, when you come and meet them, they'll literally start crying because they'll be shocked. They know that you're their children. They know you're their descendants. They just can't access you. They can't travel to access you. And also, African people in general, the majority were denied their true history. We mostly study more about Europeans or colonizers than our own history. So we only study crumbs on ourselves. So when I come here and I'm like, we both need healing as Africans and as African descendants. And I don't want everybody to think I only want to talk about African Americans. No, I'm talking about every African descendant in Europe, in Asia, in North America, in South America, everywhere. So don't feel offended when we come here and we say you need to connect with the motherland. We just need you guys to come and see the home, your home. Africa is the only continent that has majority of black people. So wherever you are, you're seen as an African. So let's rise up, unite. And I love you guys.
Well, we don't want them here.
They're your brothers and sisters.
They're not our brothers.
They are.
It's comments like this that have me convinced y'all done lost y'all African mind. Y'all done lost y'all damn African mind. You mean to tell me we're not African, we are native black Americans, like we organically sprung up in North America and we don't have any connection with Africa? You done lost your damn African mind. Believe in that. Now, I made several posts about this, but I'm going to say it again. African Americans living in America possess at least 73% of Niger Cotophonia DNA, meaning that we come from the continent of Africa, not no damn North America. But I know majority of you guys don't like taking DNA tests because y'all think it's the white man's science, y'all don't believe in it or something like that. But let one of your cousins get locked up and the only thing that can get his ass out is a DNA test, y'all believe in it then. Let one of your cousins get a call from a girl and say, yo, it's your baby. I bet y'all be taking a DNA test then to determine that he's not the father. It works when it works for you, right? But y'all don't believe in science. Y'all rather go around on TikTok and listen to these fake ass screenshot, copy and paste historians who don't give you guys enough information on the subject matter. And y'all are eating it up like sheep. It is clearly dangerous for the community because y'all done lost your African minds and you're quickly losing your African integrity.
In my personal opinion, and I think I speak for a lot of Africans, you guys have as much claim to Africa as the rest of us. Yes, your ancestors were taken away, and by extension, you guys have not been here for hundreds of years. But as far as I'm concerned, there's little to no difference to the way we are. Genetically, we are predisposed to a lot of things as black people. There are some things that I learned, some diseases that black people are just prone to, fibroids, hypertension. It's the same for black people everywhere. The way people of other races see us is the same. I know definitely there's some stereotypes with different groups of black people, but generally, if they don't like black people, they do not like all black people. So that's the way I see it. It's all love from us over here, from most of us over here. If you were to visit Africa, which I find out that a lot of people are doing right now, a lot of people in the African diaspora are visiting Africa. Some are moving back to Africa.
I'm happy here. I feel a sense of alignment. I feel a sense of fulfillment. I think just as a Black American coming to Ghana, it's a return home.
An estimated 5,000 Black Americans have relocated to Ghana over the past 2 years.
To Ghana.
Including podcast host Demetria L. Lucas, who says she feels the excitement of possibility.
You see that there's cranes in the sky, literally, like they're building the city. And for me as an artist, like I can feel the energy. I feel like I'm living in the middle of a renaissance.
Some of them are making African friends, thinking of how to start businesses and stuff like that. I think that is the right move because it's about time that the African diaspora really unite, because I feel we are stronger as a people, and I hope that happens in my lifetime. I really do. If you feel like moving to Africa or visiting Africa is such a big step that you're not ready for, I think you should start out by making friends. First of all, make friends with people that are African, make friends with Africans in Africa, so that you get a first-hand experience and a learning experience of what it is like with Africans or living in Africa and stuff like that. You can at least start from there, and who knows what happens. So yeah, I just want to preach that whole, let's just end the diaspora war and let's just come together as a people, just like Akon is saying in this video.
My goal is to get everybody to move back to Africa. That's my goal.
Okay.
I want to get as many African Americans back home to Africa as I possibly can, because I know the day they move back, everything they fighting for in America, they will not have to fight for over there. All the struggle that they struggled over there, they're going to come there with this mindset, with this mentality, with the finances that they built, the equity in life, and bring it back and invest that in Africa. Man, Africa could be the strongest nation in the world if y'all went back home. Because we got everything that it takes to be that. We got the resources, we got the land, we got the population, and together we got the strength and we got the know-how. Like, why we ain't doing that? I always felt like Africa was for Africans. So when I see African Americans in America dealing with all these issues, my first question is, why don't they just go back home?
Where?
Back to Africa. Will they be treated fair? Will they actually be praised for who they are because of the fact that they're American? They'll get way better treatment. They can invest their money
back home. But come on, Akon, how do you tell people who've lived for generations, centuries and centuries in one land to move back to a place they don't know? I mean,
no, but that's my point. They don't know. It starts with a visit. How many African Americans do you know actually consider Africa as a vacation spot? Not one. There's when you look at the overall population of African Americans, a very few percentage would decide to go to Africa for vacation. Would even, just for knowledge, just to know where they come from, just to get an idea of what that is. It's so much fear installed into them that they wouldn't even want to even go there to visit. You mentioned Africa, they start shaking.
Yeah, I know. You guys are probably still pissed at Akon from the other video that I made, but yeah, ignore the messenger and just accept the message. He's making a lot of sense. Anyway, you guys let me know what you think in the comment section. Have you had any interaction with other African diaspora people? What was the relationship like? What was the interaction like? Because I feel like when we see each other physically, there's this love that we have, but maybe the diaspora wars are only happening on the internet. I don't know. Please, I want to really know what you guys think in the comment section, if I'm mistaken or if I'm right. Let me know. Drop your comments. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Please turn on notifications. That way, YouTube is going to let you guys know whenever I have a new video up. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.